Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Yoga for Everybody session today. My name is Skyla Ramirez. Let's get started. Let's stand up. Take a moment to establish a comfortable stance with your body, especially if you've been seated for quite a long time. Just notice where the feet want to be. So maybe the feet are a little wider than the hips. They could be a little more narrow. No matter where those feet are, let's go ahead and sweep the arms overhead with a big inhale. Circle the arms back, reach it towards the sky, dynamically pull up out of the armpits and reach from the fingertips. Take in another big breath. Inhale, reach through the fingertips, and now turn the palms forward and circle those arms way back, allowing your ribs to protrude out and up. Let's do that a few more times with each unique breath. Inhale, sweep it up. Reach up, palms forward. Exhale, sweep it back. Two more. Inhale, reach it up. Ribs protruding up and forward. Palms forward, reach it back. Inhale, reaching up. Exaggerating a back bend on the exhale. Ribs forward and palms back. From wherever you are, bring those feet into about the width of your pelvis bones. Finding the natural width of the hips, we want the feet to be just a little more narrow than the natural width of the hip bones. Let's step our left foot back, a really casual stride, and bend the right knee. As we're bending that right knee, we're pulling those shoulders up, back, and down over our hip joints. Let's inhale, take those arms back and around again, reaching up. And maybe allow those ribs to pull forward and up again so that we're exaggerating a little bit of a back bend with the upper spine. As we're holding here in our Warrior One expression, exaggerate the breath around your heart. Exhale from the throat and relax the jaw. Two more like that. Big inhale. Exhale, relax the jaw. Last one, big breath in, and then relax. Let's take our right hand, bring it down, reach back, and then bring it up overhead. So we're going to circle that right arm counterclockwise a few times, allowing the trunk of the body to move with that movement in your arm. Taking your right arm down in front of you, take it behind you, and look back over that right shoulder. Then inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down as if you're shaking hands with someone in front of you. Inhale, sweep it back behind you, shaking hands with someone behind us. And then bring it up overhead. Two more, take it down. Inhale, open. Up and around, last one. Inhale, up and open. Exhale, down. Inhale, take it up and open, reaching both hands up towards the sky. Let's pat ourselves on the back with our right hand. Keeping that left foot back, we're creating a stretch from the inside of the left hip up to the right armpit. Let's take that left arm, circle it back, looking behind us as if we're going to shake someone here behind us, and then take it down, forward, shaking someone's hand in front of us, and now up again. So big clockwise circles with that left hand. Taking it back, down and around. Inhale, open. Exhale, around. At least two more. Big inhale. Exhale, down. Last one. Let's hold the left knuckles down and by the low back, pressing firmly into that left heel. Keep lunging forward, bending the right knee, left leg is straight. From here, pull up and out of that right armpit. Imagining that you're reaching with the right elbow. Let's lean just a little bit over into the left side of the body and maybe look down over that left shoulder. Exaggerating a stretch that moves from the inside of the left hip through the navel up to the right armpit region. Taking in one more breath into that upper right lung. Big inhale. Exhale, bring it to center. Let's take our right hand to the low back. With both hands by the low back, we may allow the hands to rest by the low back, knuckles or palms in by that low back region. Or we could also experiment with lacing the fingers together and then pressing down through the elbows, straightening the arms with the palms laced. From wherever we are with those hands, let's straighten our right leg. Both legs are straight at this time. As we inhale, we're exaggerating the breath in the center of the chest. Big inhale, lift the ribs, and then exhale, relax the ribs. This will create almost an abdominal crunch, a contraction to detox the intestines and belly. 2 more like this. Big inhale into the heart, pull the shoulders back, let the ribs protrude out and forward, open the throat, and then exhale, let it all relax. Just 1 more. Inhale, shoulders back, ribs forward and up, open the throat, big breath in, and now exhale, relax it all. Let's release our hands down beside us, stepping forward, finding that original foundation with the feet in to the width of the pelvis bones, just a little more narrow than the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, palms forward, circle the arms back. 2 more. Inhale, breathe in, just centering the body between our sets. Exhale back. 1 more, inhale, lift, exaggerate the lift of the ribs, look up, exhale back. Let's inhale the arms up and overhead, this time stepping our right foot back, a very short stride, keeping a healthy bend in that left knee to find warrior 1 pose. From here, we're reaching through the fingertips, exaggerating that breath in the upper ribs again. Imagine your heart is like 1 big lung in the center of the chest. Exaggerate the flaring out of your ribs as you inhale, creating a standing back bend with the breath, hopefully balancing out the spine and any movements in the spine that may be affected by long periods of sitting. 1 more inhale, reach. When you're ready, keep that right hand lifted, reach back with the left hand, and then circle it down and around. At least 4 big circles with that left hand. Inhale, open, allowing the trunk of the body to follow the rotation of the shoulder, gazing down at the hand, tracking the movement of the arm. Just 1 more. Inhale all the way around with that arm. Let's bring the left arm up and pat ourselves on the back. Imagine that you're reaching up out of that left armpit and left elbow. Let's circle back with the right arm now, taking our right arm back, down and around. Inhaling at the top of the breath, reach. Exhale, relax the jaw, allowing the trunk of the body to move with the rotation in that shoulder and rotator cuff region. At least 1 more, reach, sweep it around. Let's take the right hand down to our low back, exaggerating the stretch that goes now from the right hip to the front of the left chest, pushing down into that right heel, pulling up from the left armpit and rib, and maybe lean just a little bit over to the right this time, opening up the left rib, the intestines, and the stomach. Breathe mostly into the upper part of your left lung. Look over the right shoulder and maybe even close the eyes. Notice on the inhale, when the body maybe feels a little bit wobbly, exhale, relax. Notice the body's a little more grounded when we exhale. 1 more exaggerated breath into the upper left lung, keeping that left knee bent, right leg straight. Big breath in. And now exhale, come to center. Let's bring both hands down by the low back. And again, we can experiment with the foundation. So maybe the palms are open. The palms could be flat to the low back, or we can lace our fingertips together and begin straightening the arms back behind us. Now the arms may or may not straighten all the way. It's okay. Either one is okay. Let's straighten our left leg, draw the shoulders down and back, flip the hips back, exaggerating an arch in the upper spine. Inhale, open the throat. Exhale, relax the ribs. At least 2 more like that. Breathing into the nose, big breath in. Lifting the ribs, drawing the shoulders back. Exhale. 1 more, big inhale. Opening the gut, squeezing the kidneys and the adrenal glands. And now exhale, relax. Let's bring our hands away from the back. Step forward to find the feet at the width of the pelvis bones. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms overhead. Finding a little symmetry with the body and the breath. Palms forward. Exhale, take it back. 2 more flying arms. Circle them up. Inhale, reach. Palms forward. Exhale, back. 1 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back. Let's add on to that today. Inhale, reach it up and overhead. And then from here, maybe look up towards the fingertips or look ahead somewhere to maybe where a wall meets the ceiling. This will give you what we call a drishti, or a focal point that helps us to create more balance in the body through visual integration. From wherever we are, let's start shifting forward and back through the soles of the feet and add in a little lift of your heels so that the body is beginning to feel a little bit more weight in the ball of the foot and even into the toes. Web out the toes. At some point, shift forward, lift the heels, maybe just enough to swipe a credit card under the feet when we begin, and then maybe just a little higher. Now, the higher we lift the heels, the more we're going to open the throat, and we may even shift the eyes away from the original focal point, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach at the top of the breath. Exhale, relax a little bit, keeping the heels lifted. At least 1 more like that. Big breath in. And exhale. Let's drop our heels. Swan diving 1/3 of the way down. Swan diving, arms out to the side. Hips go back. Arms are reaching back past the hips. Shoulders are pressing away from the ears. Imagine your neck is like a turtle coming out of its shell. So you want to lengthen through the crown of the head and the neck. Continue to reach back through those arms. On the count of 3, we're all going to act surprised together. This is to strengthen deep rib bones. Exhale all the way first. Now 1, 2, 3, surprise. Creating a little bit of a lift and a little bit of core stabilization here. When your body is ready, take both hands down onto the thighs, supporting the spine. And now exhale, slowly relax the upper back and let your head hang loose. Let's shake the head yes. Turn it left and right. Come to a still point, hands on the thighs, bend the knees. Let's push into the thighs. Lifting the spine halfway, finding a flat back supported with the hands. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Low back and core strengthener. We want to warm up and fire up this core before we move into a little bit of a balance challenge today. Exhale 1/3 of the way down, swan dive. So thinking about where the halfway point would be, coming up just a little higher than the halfway point, hinging from the hips so that we're strengthening that low back and belly. Let's add in that surprise breath. Exhale all the way. 1, 2, 3, surprise. Getting those deep rib, intercostals, and serratus muscles engaged. Hands to the thighs. Exhale, relax all the way. Shake out the head and neck. Shake it, yes. Turn it left and right. Find a still point. Hands on the thighs, knees bend, dropping the hips back. Let's push into the legs to come up halfway or more with a flat back. Arms reaching out, belly and low back strengthen or push into the feet. Inhale, standing nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, sweep it around. 3 big sweeping breaths. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, pull up from the ribs and sweep it around. Just 2 more. We're warming up the spine, shoulder girdle, hip girdle, core and legs, all in preparation for a nice little balance challenge. Last one, exhale. Let's bring our hands together at the heart from our standing position with the feet at the width of the hips or pelvis. So maybe experiment. Notice, where does your body feel the most secure, the most balanced? And you could even close your eyes, stand with the feet closer together, and then take the feet out. And just notice, where do you sense a little more stability in the body? Taking the cue from the body as to where we'll begin this balancing sequence. Hands are coming to the heart. Let's step our left foot back, a casual stride. Bending the right knee. Inhale, circle the arms overhead, warrior 1. All familiar postures in our sequence. Exhale, swan diving the hands out to the side. Coming down a third, maybe halfway even. This is our airplane expression with a warrior 1 stance. And in our airplane expression, imagine that you're an airplane taking off from the runway rather than coming down on the runway. So big inhale, surprise, 1, 2, 3. Opening up through the chest. Option to bend that right knee a little more. Bend the left knee. And as we bend the left knee, we're peeling up that left heel, maintaining a flat back. The key here is to flip the hips back and to keep lifting through the ribs. Option to hold it here, or maybe we tap that left toe in next to the right foot and then tap the left toe back again. Just a gentle tap. Keep pressing into the inside blade of the right foot. Bend the left knee, tap that left foot next to the right, and now take it back. Just 1 more. Inhale into the chest. Both knees bent, tap the left foot in, and now take it back. Hold it there, having the option to stay right here, weight bearing into that right leg, strengthening the hips and the quads, or maybe hovering that left foot and straightening the right leg just for a moment with that breath. Practice that big breath into the center of the chest, the heart acting like a single lung to empower and strengthen your spine. 1 more big breath. And now exhale, lower that back foot, both feet on the ground, reach the arms overhead, bending the right knee, warrior 1 foundation. Exhale, lower the hands to the side, and let's step with our feet in our mountain. So again, noticing, do we want to have the feet at hips width or pelvis width? And noticing what the body prefers, because the body is the boss in this practice. From wherever we are, we're stepping our right foot back this time, keeping a healthy bend in that left knee. The stride is pretty conservative. It's not too long of a stride. If we step back too far, it will twist the hip joint, and we don't want to twist those hips. It could hurt the back too. Arms coming up overhead, setting up that warrior 1 foundation in preparation for balance. Exhale, swan diving about a third or halfway down. Again, exaggerating the flip or the hinge of the hips, tailbone tilting up, ribs protruding out and forward. There is an element of a back bend in here. As we continue to shift forward, bending that left knee a little more. Act surprised. 1, 2, 3. Airplane taking off from the runway. Let's bend our right knee. And as we do, that'll peel up the right heel. And we can hold it right here as a balance challenge. Or tap that right toe in next to the left. Inhale. Exhale, tap it back. Inhale in place. Tap it in. Inhale in place. Tap it back. Last one. Inhale. Bring the toe in. Inhale in place. Let that chest expand. Exhale, tap it back. We can hold it right here. We can even close the eyes. Noticing that when we do, we get a little bit of a sway in the body. Another option here is to push off of that right toe, straighten the left leg a little more, and just hover that right foot off the floor. Of course, at any time we can close the eyes, which naturally creates a balance challenge for the body. Just one or two more breaths here. Big inhale. Better to close the eyes and hold onto a wall or a chair than to just balance free form, especially in the beginning. One more inhale. Exhale, lower that back foot. Bend the left knee. Inhale, both arms up. Let's ground the body with that traditional warrior one expression. Maybe close the eyes here. Take a moment, allowing the body to feel its way through the posture, noticing the sensations through the entire right foot, inner blade and outer blade pressing into the floor. Notice the sensations in the left foot, inner blade and outer blade of the foot pressing into the floor. Let's lower the head enough so that an egg can roll off our head. Without opening the eyes, stepping forward, feeling that both feet are meeting. Looking down to see if one toe goes in front of the other. This could just give us some insight as to any twisting or any imbalances in the hip joints. Letting go of any judgment, just making a little note of it. Let's go ahead and line up the toes and the feet at hips width distance. Inhale, reach it up through both fingertips. Let's lace the fingers together and invert the palms, pressing overhead into our palm gesture. From here, step the left foot behind the right. With that left foot behind the right foot, we're just gently leaning over to the right, creating a nice long stretch along the entire left side of the body. And then maybe begin to slowly draw that left armpit back, adding in just a tiny bit of rotation with the upper shoulder girdle. Inhale, press through the palms of the hands. Exhale, slowly relax the hands. Let's bring our spine to neutral and step both feet to hips width. Inhale, circling the arms overhead, lacing the fingers. Inverting the palms, pressing up. Not too much tension in the elbows at this point. Let's step our right foot behind the left. From here, leaning just a little bit up and over to the left, drawing that right shoulder back so it's a tiny little bit of a twist. As we pull that right shoulder back, press your left hip back. Leaning to the left, inhale along the right side of the body. Exhale in place. One more big breath, big inhale. And exhale, relax the hands. Let's bring our spine and shoulders to neutral. Bringing that right leg to its original position, stacking the feet. From here, let's keep our knees soft. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, swan diving forward fold. Hands can go to the thighs, to the shins, or maybe even touch the floor. No matter where we go with this, let's relax the head and the neck. Using a standing forward fold to counter all of those back bends and all of those diagonal stretches we did today, stretching along what we call the superficial and deep back lines, muscles along the spine. Exhale from the throat and relax the jaw. If there's any pressure or locking up in that low back, especially with long periods of sitting, there can be compression. We can try targeting that compression by manipulating the jaw, cranial to sacral connections. Big breath in through the nose. Exhale, unlock the jaw to unlock the back. Just one more. Big breath in. Let's walk our hands to our shins, bend the knees. Let those hips drop back a little bit. Walk the hands up to the thighs, making sure that our blood pressure stays happy with us. And now slowly rising up. As we are nearing the end of our practice today, I invite you to stay standing or come to seated. We're moving into a little bit of cupping today. This is to improve overall circulation for the nervous system, the lymphatic system, and even circulation of blood and other fluids in the body. So we're just going to remember to always cup or tap the body in towards the heart, in towards the gut. Now to do this, I like to start, my left hand is out. I like to start with my right hand cupped, and I'm just going to pat in from the wrist to the shoulder on the top of the arm. And now maybe turn the palm up, and from the inner wrist up to the shoulder again. Just a couple times will do it, 2 or 3 times. Let's take the left arm up, and now from the armpit down to the belly button. Go ahead and pat it in. Let's try the other side. Right arm out, from the wrist to the shoulder, palm up. And now right arm up from the armpit into the belly button. As a final closing for the lower areas of the body, keep the knees bent, take the hands down by the knees, and just add in a tap up towards your belly and towards this gut region. Down by the knees and thighs, pat it into the gut, just one more time. Down low and into the gut. From here, let's keep the hands on the belly. Take a big breath in and notice the movement of the stomach with the breath. This is to work on diaphragmatic breathing. This is such an important breath because diaphragmatic breathing means that we are using the diaphragm muscles in such a way where we are able to support the spine with every breath we take. Inhaling, the belly goes out. Exhaling, the belly comes in. Inhaling, belly out. Exhaling, belly in. Now, this is a more natural way for us to breathe, but sometimes our bodies, all on its own, our bodies will start to do chest breathing when it is stressed out. And it happens without us even having to think about it. So during the day, maybe set a timer for every 30 minutes or 40 minutes to maybe practice at least 5 to 10 of these breaths. Inhale, push the stomach out. Exhale, pull the stomach in. And we just want to check in and reprogram those breathing patterns, reprogram and recalibrate the nervous system, matching it with a healthy breath. Just one more. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. From here, I invite you to close with me. You're welcome to bring the hands together at the heart, traditional closing gesture. Namaste, everyone. Have a beautiful day. And if you haven't heard already, please join me on Wednesdays. This Wednesday is virtual only, but next Wednesday is in person and virtual. So join me this Wednesday, same time. Different link though, so look for the different Zoom links. Have a great week, everyone. Namaste.